here again with another UFC predictions video as we have UFC 295 taking place on Saturday, November 11th. Just getting my predictions for the main card. And remember, as always, that the card is subject to change. Get well soon, John Jones. Before I give my predictions, though, just a few things. If you're a fan of the UFC and like prediction and reaction videos and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please Hulk smash the like button. It does help out the channel quite a bit. Leave me a comment with your thoughts and predictions in the comment section, as well as coming back to the channel to see my reactions to at least 3, possibly 4 of these fights, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Kicking things off on the main card in the featherweight division, we have Diego Lopes versus Pat Sabatini. I don't know a lot about both of these guys. I know that Lopes was a last-minute replacement against Movsar Ilyaev, and he did really good. Lost by decision, but he did good despite getting, taken advantage of a lot during that fight. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. Sabatini's tough. He's good at submissions. So is Lopes. Should be a fun fight. It's kind of like throw a coin up in the air and 50-50 in my opinion. I'm going to go with Lopes because I think he's really good. He is a next level jiu-jitsu guy in my opinion. Sabatini's tough. He probably has a slight power advantage, but I think the fight will probably go to the ground. If it stays standing, it's very possible that Sabatini could connect. But then again, Lopes does have knockout power. We just haven't seen it yet in the UFC. So I am picking Lopes and the fact that he trains with Alex Grasso. So I will go with Diego Lopes in that one. Next up in the lightweight division, this is going to be a banger of a fight. We have Matt Frevola versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Both crazy fighters. Frevola is just, he empties the gas tank. He goes for it. Once he smells blood, he goes for it. Saint-Denis is a little bit less crazier, but still really good. This is another fight where it really could go either way, and I think if this fight is as crazy as I think it will be, it could be the fight of the night, even though we have some bangers on this card. I just don't know if those fights will go long enough, but I think Saint-Denis is going to win this fight. Although Frevola could win, I'm just a little worried about Frevola's chin as he has gotten rocked really early in fights before. So I'm going to give a slight edge to Benoit Saint-Denis. Next up in the UFC women's strawweight, we have a fight between Jessica Andrade versus Mackenzie Dern. Jessica Andrade is on a 3-fight losing streak. Mackenzie Dern has lost a couple fights out of her last 3. Andrade has her power, we all know that, but maybe she's finally feeling the effects of all these fights that she's had. She came into the UFC in 2013 when she was in her early 20s, and now she's 32 years old. Dern's only 30, but she's lost a couple. She can submit people really good, but it's been a couple fights since she's done that. I'm going to give the edge to Mackenzie Dern in this one. I just think maybe Jessica Andrade has fought too many times, and now it's her decline. Although it would be great to see Jessica Andrade get a knockout, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So I'm going to pick Mackenzie Dern. And then in our co-main event of the evening for the interim UFC Heavyweight Championship of the World, we have Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. This is a crazy fight. I know a lot of people are picking Pavlovich to win the fight simply due to the fact that he's the new Francis Ngannou. He has the power, and he does. But I feel like some of the fighters that he's fought aren't the most smart fighters. Love him to death, but Derek Lewis doesn't really have the best game plan going into the fights. And then Tai Tuivasa, not the smartest fighter. Both fighters are looking for haymakers. Now, he did beat Curtis Blades, but, Curtis Blades, maybe he's a tad overrated. Then you have Tom Aspinall, who hasn't fought that level of competition yet, but the guy is really good. His loss against Curtis Blades, he got hurt throwing, with 10 seconds into the fight, or was it 15 seconds? So I think Tom Aspinall is a more well-rounded fighter, and if he can get to the fight to the ground or do different things against Pavlovich, I think Tom Aspinall is going to win this fight and become the interim light heavyweight champion of the world. And don't place your bets based on what I'm saying. I just have a feeling. And in the main event of the evening for the vacant UFC light heavyweight championship, the former light heavyweight champion, Yuri Prochazka, who never actually lost the title, had to vacate it due to being injured. Then eventually Jamal Hill got the title, and then he got injured as well, versus the former UFC middleweight champion, Alex Pereira. This is going to be a fun fight, I think. Alex Pereira, moving up a weight class, looks pretty good at light heavyweight, has Glover Teixeira in his corner, who did really good against Yuri Prochazka until about 30 seconds left in the 5th round when Prochazka got him in a choke and won the light heavyweight championship. But I wasn't overly impressed with Alex Pereira. He's good, but he doesn't do anything different. You know what you're going to get from him, I feel. Yuri Prochazka is a wild man. He does crazy things, although Alex Pereira probably has the power advantage in one strike, and it's night-night time for Yuri Prochazka, and that might actually be what happens. But for some reason, I'm going to pick Yuri Prochazka to win this particular fight. I'm sure the UFC would rather have Alex Pereira win the fight. I don't know. I just have a strange feeling. Even though Glover Teixeira did really good against Yuri Prochazka, Alex Pereira doesn't do those things. He's more of a stand and kick and punch you guy. But as far as like the takedowns and all that, he can do them, but he doesn't really like to do it. And I feel like Prochazka is going to add elements to his game to beat Pereira. But who knows? Pereira, I don't know. I hear two or three different things. So if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. But I am picking Yuri Prochazka to win this fight and become the new UFC light heavyweight champion. And hopefully whoever wins will keep the title and not get injured, because this light heavyweight championship has been like a hot potato. You have John Jones. John Jones is going to vacate the title and take some time off to go to heavyweight. Then Jan Blachowicz wins it. Then Glover Teixeira wins it. Then Yuri Prochazka wins it. Then Jamal Hill wins it. It's been a hot potato around. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Again, come back to the channel. I'll post my first reaction probably about an hour to an hour and a half after most likely the main event is over with. Probably will be the main event, but if it gets some sort of strike for some reason, which they happen sometimes, it's been like 7 or 8 pay-per-views though, I'll post the co-main event, and then I'll probably definitely react to the Benoit Saint-Denis versus I'm drawing a blank on who he's fighting now. It doesn't matter. But I'll probably post at least 3 of those reactions, and I might react to Mackenzie Dern versus Jessica Andrade. It just depends. So let me know what your thoughts are. Come back to the channel for my reactions. And, of course, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.